Welcome, my name is VRamgulam. We're doing the second part of the walk cycle in which we'll animate the upper body. Firstly, I would like to request that you complete all or most of the work that we have done in these online lessons and submit them to me by Monday. The next lesson we have will be a critique lesson. We'll be going through your work or the work that you have done. We will cover a lot of stuff, how the work looks, what makes the work look good, and if your work needs correction, we will go over it and do some corrections. Remember, this is done all over the world. It is about getting better at the craft of what we're doing. It's the mindset that you should have in a critique lesson is to focus on the input and not the output. The students that focus on the output, they worry about being called an artist or an animator or a designer. That's different from the students that are more concerned about the input. The students that are concerned about the input are the ones that want to put in more quality and they're focused on getting better. Those people that do focus more on the input actually do become better at their craft and are worthy to be called designer, animator, filmmaker, illustrator, whatever they're putting their mind and their muscle to. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna start off with the theory of a walk. Then we will animate the arms to complete the walk cycle that we've done last week. We've started with the lower body, so let's get started. Okay, so part one is the lower body dynamics. The feet have three key positions. Number one, the foot lifts off the ground. Number two, the foot passes the other leg. And number three, the foot makes contact with the ground. Now, if you repeat these three keyframes for both the legs, you will have a walk. And if you do this continuously, you will have a looped walk sequence. For clarity, I have colored the right arm and the right leg red, and I have colored the left arm and the left leg blue. You'll see that the right arm and leg are closer to you. Well, you don't see the arm just yet, but you will soon. The left arm and leg are further away from you in the side view. So I'm going to let each one of these play so that you can see them clearly. Now here's number two. This is upper body dynamics. This is something like what we're going to animate today. The arms swing forward and backward, mainly for balance. As we walk, the larger the steps we take, the wider the arms will swing, or it'll normally get wider if we take larger steps. It's not always the case, but in general, it's true. You'll find that arm movements are also used to add character to a walk cycle. So depending on the extreme movements or the lack of movements, it'll determine the type of character that you're animating. Number three, here are the arms and legs together. This is no balance. So when you swing the right arm and the right leg forward or backward together, or you do the same for the left arm and leg, the arm and leg on either side, both going forward or back, you'll see that the figure looks unnatural because there is too much of weight on one side. You can see this by the arm and the leg of the same color, both moving in the same direction. This is not a believable walk cycle. It's too robotic. So number four, this is how you'd get a more natural walk cycle. This is called offset. This is where, to get a natural walk, you should offset the arms from the legs, meaning that if the right leg goes forward, then you should make the right arm go back. Or you could do the same for either the red or the blue. It's the same, the arms and the legs should be in opposite places. Notice how two of the same color are never going in the same direction. So here's a look at the right side offset for balance. Here I've only shown the red arm and leg, or the right side, and you will see that they move, or they swing forward and backward. They do not both go in the same direction at once. They're always opposing each other. Now here is a look at the left side offset for balance. This is a look at the set of appendages in blue, which are further away from us. Here is a look at the left side of the arm and the leg moving backward and forward. You will notice that both of them do not go in the same direction at once. If one appendage is going forward, the other will be going backward. Right, now here's a look at the opposing appendages. Right, so I'll be showing you the left arm and the right leg, and the right arm. I'll be showing you the left arm and right leg, and I'll be showing you the right arm and left leg. Notice how the right leg and the left arm move together in the same direction. This keeps both of the sides of the body balanced. And finally, when you put them all together, here is a basic walk. You'll notice that the arms are opposing the legs. Also, the passing position of the feet will also be where the arms pass each other on the side of the body. Now that we've covered some of that, let's move forward. Hi guys, it's VRamgulam. So let's get started with the practical part of making the upper body of this character move as it walks. So I'm drawing on the head and the body shape that will add on to that pelvis shape, or that square that block shape that we had drawn in the previous lesson. So I'm just making the body fit a little bit more properly. And here I'm going to use a different color. I'll use red to draw the arm that's closer to us. I'll be drawing both the arms in red. The arm that's actually, I'm going to draw one arm because the movement of the second arm will be reflected, will be a reflection of this arm. Like we had discussed in the theory, the arms swing backward and forward, and here I'm doing both the frames for both the keyframes for the start and the end position. Now normally I would draw a line that connects them, and I call this the path of motion. Now the path of motion is planning exactly where how the part of the drawing is going to move, and those little notches with those numbers, which I'm just erasing, are an indicator of where each drawing will be positioned. So each notch would be uh, the position of the palm of the hand over there. Now, here's something I want to show. If you have the arms just swinging and going forward, I've drawn a straight line, and a straight line would not work for an animation like this because your body moves in circular motions. If you look at this arm moving right now, you'll see that uh, for that arm to keep the same length, it will drop lower than that line. And if you shorten that arm so that it goes in a straight line, you'll find that the arm is now considerably shorter, which would not work. A squash and stretch is cool, but in this aspect it would not make sense. So here I'm going to erase the blue line, and here I'm going to draw a more curved arc. And I'm just going to do a curved arc at the edges of the fingers and a curved arc to show you that the elbow is actually curved. If you continue these arcs all the way above the head and going back forward, you'll see that they can be the shape of the arcs can be oval or circular. Now here I'm putting down the number of notches for the arm movement, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this could work, except I'm making a mistake right now. I have 8 drawings of the legs moving, but that's for the legs moving forward and backward. Here I've got, I'm just showing you each time that you redraw it, it's the palm will have to be on a different part depending on whether you're tracing out drawing number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drawing number 6, drawing number 7, or drawing number 8. Now, please keep in mind that I made a mistake here, which is why I'm doing a voiceover, and I'm keeping the mistake in, because I believe there is some value in even showing stuff that is done wrong, because it would help you to understand that you should not make the same mistake. Okay, now here we go. So I'm going to continue with my mistake, and I'm going to draw out frame number 1 of the hand. Now, I told you that I'm making a mistake, but I didn't tell you what it is. I've got 8 drawings of the legs in a walk sequence, which means that the leg is going forward and going back to where it originally started, which means that there were 4 to 5 drawings going forward and there were 4 to 3 drawings going backward. Now my problem here is that I even did the numbers here. My problem is that I have the arms going backward or going forward in 8 drawings. And it's supposed to go forward in 4 drawings, and it's meant to go backward in the other 4 drawings. So I'm just gonna go go through this mistake, and I'm gonna complete a full, I think, 2 drawings before I realize that I made a mistake. Okay, so I drew drawings number 1 and 8, and now I'm drawing out drawings number 2 and 7. And even though I'm making a mistake, I'm still keeping with the rule that the appendage that is further away will be shaded black. So the leg further away is shaded black, and the arm that is further away is also shaded black. So what I'm doing here is okay, I think I just realized I made a mistake. Now what I'm doing is I'm just adding on that upper body onto the lower body animation that we had already completed. Now here I'm a little bit I'm not very happy right now because I made a mistake. So I'm I'm drawing a head of this character, and he doesn't look very happy. He looks a little bit like, I don't know, he's got a bit of a handlebar mustache, a bit like Lobo. Yeah, there's his angry eyebrow. There's his nose. Here's his handlebar mustache, just to show that he's feeling tough. And I said, no, you know what? I don't want to do that because it's gonna affect the character that we draw walking. So I'm gonna erase that, and I think I want to draw a much more friendly, happy, pleasant looking character. So I'm going to redraw this face, and here's that broad smile. Here's the teeth. The eyes, and I need a nose. It looks strange without a nose. And there you go. See, sometimes the power of suggestion, it was just a tiny little line that brought out that nose. So here, now compared to that that badass character that we were drawing when I tried to restart this, this guy looks a lot more better because of his attitude. So here I am, I'm redrawing that arm. Now I have the power of drawing digitally. I do prefer drawing on paper, and you'll notice that in this drawing I kind of made a difference. I tilted the palm of the hands to face backward, and with the power of digital I'm going to copy those arms and just place them where I want to use as guides for my keyframes. Now you could do the same thing. You could, if you're using a light box, you could draw the arm on a different page, and you can trace them just by moving them onto the image of your character, and you can trace them all in different places. And if it is your planning page, you could do that using different colors. Now we have spoken about getting a set of color pencils. They're fairly cheap right now. If you get them from a supermarket or a stationery store, they're a lot cheaper than getting them from an art store right now. Okay, so here I'm going to draw the path of motion, and it's a little bit of a decision to make on what you're actually going to align this to. Is it going to be to the wrist? Is it going to be to the baby finger? Is it going to be to the palm of the hand? And it's very hard to do that at the middle of the palm of the hand. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think I'm about to make the same mistake, but I catch myself before I do it. And essentially I would need 4 drawings going forward and 4 drawings going backward. When I looked at the animation for my for the legs moving, technically it looks more like 5 drawings going forward and 3 drawings going back. So while I'm trying to figure this out on whether I need 5 drawings going forward or 4 drawings going forward, I at some point here am going to choose a different color, because I do not want to draw the hands in the exact same position going forward and backward. So going backward, I'm going to use this light blue color. So here's 1, 2, and I'm not happy with 3 and 4. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4. No. See, here's the tricky thing. The tricky thing is to actually get the passing position in place, because if there were 5 drawings or 5 frames that we needed to do, then we'd actually have like an odd number that we could have both the arms down at. So here I'm working on drawings number 6 and 7. Numbers, I don't like that position, so I'm going to erase and I'll redraw. Now the reason I didn't do a notch, I did the number 7 on the line. So the reason why I've got numbers 6 and 7 a little bit away from the body and not exactly going straight down is, numbers 1 and 8 are going to be the same drawing. So the reason why I've got numbers 6 and 7 just a little bit outside of the body is if that arm that's in the back is completely to the side, you will not see it at all, because the body will be blocking it. So I'm going to start off with my frames. I don't know if I'm going to make this mistake, but sometimes I draw on my planning page. Hopefully I drew all of these drawings on the right pages or the right layers. So number 1 and 5 are going to be drawn together, and I'm going to shade in that arm that's further away from us. Then in frame number 2, oh, I wrote it down on my planning page just to make sure. So I've drawn numbers 1 and 5 together. The next frame I'll have to do is 2 and 6, and then 3 and 7, and then 4 and 8. And then I'll have to do that going in reverse. Now I'm not redrawing that body and that head because I've got that drawn on a separate layer. And with traditional animation, using that method is called limited animation, but for the sake of having a more complete product, draw the entire body onto the sequence that you've done. Okay, so next we're going to go with going backward to the front arm is going to be in position number 2 and the back arm is going to be in position number 4 or 6. I think it's going to be drawing position number 6. So look, here's what I mean. If this arm that I'm drawing right now with the arm in the back, it'll be blocked mainly by the body. You would hardly get to see it, which is why position number 2 and position number 7 are a little bit further away from each other. So when the back arm is on drawing number 7, at least a little bit more of it is visible. Here I'm just drawing over some of that black detail on that hand. Now I should have gone with position number 6 and not position number 4, because you can see that the arm closer to us is a bit more further down than the arm that's away from us. But in the animated sequence, it will look pretty cool still. So the next one we're doing is drawing number 3 and 7. So the arm that's closer to us is going to be drawing number 3, and the arm further away from us is going to be drawing number 7. And I'm just erasing some of that detail for the legs, because the legs are being blocked. There we go. There's that arm that's in the back. Look at how little you see of that. And now the arm that is closer to us is going to be redrawn, but it will be in the position that the other arm started in. Oh wait, not yet. We still have one more to go. Now you'll see I'm being a little bit sloppy with that hand right now. Please give your drawings a bit more attention than I'm giving mine. I've got the arm kind of bending backward. It makes it seem a little bit more rubbery. It's not something you have to do. It was just a kind of fun stylistic choice I made, because in the theory example, the arms were so stiff and robotic. So I just wanted to add a little bit more movability to this one. And remember, this was also a stylistic choice. It was a choice based on the attitude I chose for this character to have his palms facing backward. Now, normally when we walk, we uh, we have the inside of our palms facing our bodies, so it's facing inward toward us. But this guy, as he's walking, the palms of his hands are facing backward, which means that his elbows are facing outward a little bit for him to walk that way. Now, if you wanted to give him a bit more, I don't know, attitude, if you wanted to make him seem a little bit more obnoxious, you could have had his elbows bent, so when he walks, it seems like he's a bit of a braggart, or he. It's kind of like the way they animated apes in some movies. So now what we're doing right here is the arm that's closer to us, we're moving it back forward because from drawings number 1 to 5, we had the forward arm going backward. Now the forward arm is returning to the front, and the arm that's further away from us is returning to its original position, which is in the back. And once we're done with this, you're going to see that we're just drawing and animating 2 steps. You can complete a walk sequence because you, my friend, have created a loop. A loop is a set of drawings which form a sequence, and the ended drawing will lead back to the very first drawing you started at. So that means that it will be hard to tell where the sequence starts and where it ends if you play it continuously. You can have a character that walks forever. Even if you have a character riding a bicycle or something, you could do the same thing. Create a sequence of a few drawings, and the final drawing will lead you back to the first drawing that you did. And if you play that continuously, you will have an animated loop which plays forever if you wanted to. Okay, I think we're doing the last drawing or the last drawings of the sequence, and then we're going to animate it and see how it looks. Okay, these are the expressions that show you how shocked these guys are at how sloppy I was with drawing the hands. And even that back arm, I was a little bit sloppy because I knew I was going to shade that in. If this were a final animated sequence, it would need to go back to the drawing table to be perfected, but as practice, it's just fine. So here is the walk sequence. We're going to see it at 3 different speeds. That's a bit too fast. Now this is more like it. I've slowed it down a little bit. There we go. Now look at that pelvis bobbing up and down as he walks. It makes the body seem a little bit rubbery, so it appears to have squash and stretch. It was not what I was going for, but it's a happy accident that happens sometimes. Now, we knew that the entire body was supposed to bob up and down as this character walks, but I did not do that for the upper body. And having that lower body bob up and down, but the shoulders and the head stay in the same place, does make it look pretty cool. Okay, now let's try one more time setting. And there we go. That's a little bit faster, but not too fast. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please submit all of your work so that next week on Wednesday, we can do a critique session. Please submit all of your work by Monday latest. Okay guys, have fun, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye.